From the bubonic plague in the 14th century to deadly modern-day afflictions, our species has been infected with diseases that don't seem to be of earthly origins. Are they the product of an alien race?
They suddenly appear in a population and they seem to take it over.
Countless experiences dating back thousands of years link the appearance of UFOs with the darkest times in human history. Do these viruses appear naturally on our planet, or are they the result of a secret and sinister alien agenda? Tonight, we find out. Join us as the terrifying secret behind alien plagues is unsealed. A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Unsealed Alien Files. Exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. June 2012. Residents in southern Brazil and northern Argentina report sightings of an unusual group of globe-shaped UFOs.
A UFO was seen hovering over the ocean in both daytime and nighttime. What was very interesting about this was the object really didn't seem to do anything. It just kind of hovered over the ocean.
3 weeks later, only 1 mile from the location of the sighted craft, Brazilian citizens stumble upon a horrifying scene. More than 500 penguins, dead and scattered along the shoreline.
There have been cases of mass animal deaths throughout planet Earth, but what's very interesting about the penguins washing up ashore was that it was very closely connected to UFO sightings that happened just weeks prior.
They didn't look like they had died of starvation. They didn't look like they died of trauma. They didn't look like they died of dehydration. So the question you have to ask is, was there any correlation between the two events?
Every year, strange incidents are reported involving the sudden and unexplained deaths of hundreds, even thousands of animals. Could these stories be connected to alien visitation?
This is what's happened with birds in the United States, and this is what happened with penguins off Brazil and Argentina right after the UFO sighting.
Could the deaths be caused by extraterrestrial craft spreading plagues to our world? And if these alien plagues exist, could they affect the human race?
Many of the diseases that come out of the Dark Ages also have some very mysterious characters attached to these events. Were these actual just earthbound viruses? Or are they possibly some other experiment or biological DNA that arrived here whole and complete as a virus?
Could the first evidence of an alien plague date all the way back to the Middle Ages? In England, 1348, the 100 Years' War between France and England engulfed the nation. Suddenly, all across the Mediterranean and European countries, a rampant disease tore through the population. It becomes known as the bubonic plague.
The bubonic plague was one of the deadliest eras in human history. It's estimated that 100 million people fell victim and later died.
Death is quick, within 2 to 7 days of infection. But in that time, victims experience agonizing pain, including death of skin tissue, earning it the name, the Black Death. Prior to death, victims claim to see bronze ships in the sky, glowing gold shields, and strange mists covering the ground.
You have to ask yourself, if people are having these hallucinations, these mass hallucinations of bronze ships in the sky, you have to ask, were they seeing a hallucination, or could it have really been a UFO craft?
Many witnesses during the era of the bubonic plague saw multiple comets in the skies over Europe in areas that fell victim to this deadly disease. It is very possible that this disease came on board one of those comets from deep space and never even was born here on Earth.
Shortly before the bubonic plague ever hit certain parts of Europe, townspeople also see black hooded men carrying sickles just outside of town, but they are not tending to the fields. This image may be the origin of what we know as the Grim Reaper, but many alien theorists have wondered, could this be the first recorded history of the Men in Black?
Many believe the bubonic plague was just a dark era of human history that hit us hard with a disease that we couldn't fight. But there's others that believe there's a much more darker explanation, that it's possible that an extraterrestrial race could have brought the disease here to Earth. If the disease was intentionally sent to humans by an alien race, there's one word for that: genocide.
Coming up next, are we under a biological attack from the stars, or simply the victims of an experiment gone wrong? New evidence shows how the next alien plague may reach Earth. But is it already too late? This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. For thousands of years, plagues have haunted mankind, exterminating millions of people. It was once thought that these diseases were natural, but could they be the creation of an extraterrestrial race?
What if these were engineered diseases to somehow control the population here on Earth by introducing these as something that would be able to reduce the population very quickly?
Would an intelligent and civilized species travel to their neighbor's world just to secretly murder them with disease? If it sounds too horrible to believe, look back at our own history.
In 1763, soldiers from Fort Pitt gave a rebelling Indian tribe a stack of blankets that had been infected with the smallpox disease. This was an incredibly fatal scenario for the Native Americans because it nearly wiped them all out. So if one civilization wants to destroy another, one of the easiest ways would be just to introduce a new disease that they can't combat.
Countless deaths originating from a simple blanket. If aliens are sending plagues to mankind, what forms could they arrive in? Our food supply? The air we breathe? What about our weather? Unsealed case file, the alien rain. Kerala, India, June 2001. It's an unusually dry monsoon season when this tropical paradise experiences a sudden and terrifying change of weather. The sky opens up and rain pours down upon the land and people of Kerala. Blood red rain.
The people who lived, that population, had never seen red rain. And obviously they were scared to death. They didn't know what it was. They couldn't figure it out. All they knew was something was very wrong.
As scientists scramble to explain this crimson storm, an incredible discovery is made.
Modern scientists were collecting the pools of red rain, and they analyzed it. What was it? What was causing the color of the rain? What they found was a protein substance, the residue of a life form, of some kind of bacteriological life form in the water that was causing it to turn red.
Scientists also reveal an unexpected conclusion behind its origin. They report that the red particles may have been spread through the atmosphere by a meteorite.
In other words, it was otherworldly, extraterrestrial.
In the case of the red rain, no one fell sick because of what fell off of this meteorite or the red rain that followed. But it does illustrate the possibility of a foreign object falling from space and then infecting our population and us not being able to deal with it. And that's a little concerning.
Satellites have photographed UFOs on planets as close as Mars and as far as Saturn. Could extraterrestrials be sending rocks from these planets as meteorites filled with a viral payload? And what happens when they collide with Earth? September 15th, 2007, the village of Caracas in southern Peru. A huge fireball streaks across the sky and slams into planet Earth. Locals, shocked by the blast, are terrified. The result is a 100-foot wide by 20-foot deep impact crater with a bubbling pool of liquid at the bottom. Local residents quickly report strange and frightening side effects.
When it crashed, it threw up a whole bunch of noxious gas that spread very rapidly. And in the immediate time frame of that crash, people living near the site became very, very sick. They were clearly poisoned by something.
An estimated 600 people are affected by the sickness. Fear spreads throughout the city that an alien virus is becoming a pandemic. But reportedly, investigators cannot determine the specific cause.
I think it's safe to say there's probably a connection between the meteorite and this mysterious illness, because let's face it, the day prior, no meteorite, no illness. The day after, meteorite, now you have a mysterious illness. So chances are, whatever that illness was, it came on that meteorite.
Are these cosmic projectiles actually bioweapons of mass destruction? And if so, could this be a declaration of intergalactic war?
If you're going to wipe out another civilization, generally bombs and guns shouldn't be your first choice, because quite frankly, you're going to put your own people in harm's way. The real way to do it would be with a virus or disease, because let's face it, you can fight and win a war without ever losing a single life.
Coming up next, vicious diseases that refuse to die and mysterious bugs under our skin. We explore the possible alien plagues of today and find out if you could be at risk. When we return, this is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. Alien theorists believe there is evidence proving extraterrestrials are not only capable of spreading disease on Earth, but that it's been happening for thousands of years. But is it too late for the human race?
Humans have successfully battled every plague that either Mother Nature or someone or something else has thrown at us. But there could be one day that the next plague that hits us, we can't fight off.
Some of mankind's ancient killers, such as bubonic plague, are historically linked to alien sightings. Did we overcome this great affliction? Or, as UFO encounters have increased in the past 50 years, could it be making a comeback?
Many believe that the bubonic plague threat is over, but there are reported cases even up until this day, and the last full-scale outbreak occurred just a couple of decades ago.
This virus, once thought to be gone forever, simply refuses to die. If aliens are fighting humanity with disease, how long until they find the ultimate weapon, one that cannot be stopped?
H1N1, SARS, even poliomyelitis and AIDS have strange origins. They suddenly appear in a population and they seem to take it over.
But could the most alien affliction to ever infect mankind already be among us? Unsealed case file, the Morgellons infestation.
In 2002, there was a woman who had a son who was complaining about sores or bugs in his mouth. And she opened his mouth and there were sores.
The mother reports red, blue, black, and white fibers within the sores. According to the victim, she visited 8 doctors, all of whom were unable to find any signs of earthly disease.
They dismissed Morgellons as an actual disease or a virus harming the human body. Well, there's been multiple cases from around the globe of Morgellons that cannot be explained. The symptoms are real, the victims are real, they have something inside their body that they can't explain, but to them it's real.
The affliction becomes known as Morgellons. Sufferers describe small fibers protruding from their skin, causing piercing pain.
The threads are multicolored, often black, red, blue. They express out of the sores. When you examine the threads at a microscopic level, they almost seem to be engineered.
But worst of all, they experience the feeling that bugs have infested their bodies, crawling on and inside their skin. Since 2002, Morgellons has become a phenomenon, with a recorded 12,000 alleged cases over 8 years. Could it be, as alien theorists believe, that Morgellons has come to the Earth from an alien race?
Imagine feeling things crawling through or under your skin, even out of your body. To you, that's something that has to be alien.
If this disease is a plague from another world, it has never proven to be fatal. But could a modern alien disease have the power to kill?
We really have no idea where these unexplained diseases come from. But all it needs to wipe humanity out for good is for it to progress faster than we can fight it.
According to scientists, a highly contagious disease could travel from one major city to another within a week. From there, it could spread quickly through the country and eventually the world.
I think if extraterrestrials came to Earth with the intention of making some type of disease and letting it loose in our population, there really could be a number of scenarios why. What if these were some type of, again, biological bacteria from extraterrestrials that were just accidentally transmuted around being in contact with them?
Could it be that alien plagues have simply been viruses passed on to victims of alien abduction?
If aliens are visiting the planet Earth, chances are they're going to be biologically based just like humans are. That means viruses and bacteria are going to affect that living life form in the exact same way. An alien can bring some type of virus to Earth and transmit it to us with absolutely no problem.
Throughout history, viral outbreaks have been the product of human error, from the mad cow epidemic to the alleged escape of Lyme disease from New York's Plum Island. Could an extraterrestrial virus leak from alien laboratories by accident?
They land on planet Earth and insinuate themselves into the population, and the virus they're carrying could be spread to the human beings. And if that kind of virus came to planet Earth, that's exactly how a pandemic could spread.
But many believe there is evidence that extraterrestrial plagues are part of a much more complex plan, one that reveals we are all subjects in human experimentation. Coming up next, the truth behind alien plagues on planet Earth is revealed, exposing an alien plot that will change the very genetics of the human race. This is Unsealed, Alien Files. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. Are the diseases that plague the human race the product of alien intervention? From the bubonic plague to mysterious modern afflictions that crawl under our skin, mankind has never understood why aliens would poison us with disease. Until now.
One theory might be that aliens are trying to hybridize the human species with their own because they're taking over planet Earth.
Are aliens seeking humans who are immune to these plagues?